Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. For today's video we're testing out the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Skin Finish Foundation Stick, and this is what it looks like. So I've never tested out anything from Huda Beauty before, so this is going to be a full first impression on Huda Beauty itself. And I didn't test out the last foundation, I haven't tested out any of the eyeshadow palettes, and I know that so many people on YouTube have tested them out. Now something that people have said is that they do have a lot of fragrance in the products, and I'm hoping that this foundation doesn't have a lot of fragrance just because I do have very sensitive skin. So anything that has fragrance tends to break me out quite a lot, and as you can see, I'm breaking out a lot on my skin at the moment. I've actually seen this all over Instagram and Facebook, but I haven't seen any reviews. I haven't looked at any written reviews. I haven't looked at any videos. And this is going to be a complete first impression for me because I wanted to see how it works on my skin. And there are quite a few claims of this. I'm hoping that it works out very well for my oily skin. I don't believe it says what type of skin that it's for, but hopefully this is going to work out for me because I'm very, very oily. So if you're new to my channel and you enjoy this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below, and also make sure to hit the bell icon just so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And the shade that I picked up is Cheesecake 250G, and that's because I do have a light medium or medium skin tone, and then I also have golden undertones. And as you guys can see, I don't self-tan my face, but I do self-tan my body, so my neck and my hand is a completely different colour to my face. And the reason why I don't self-tan my face is because it's very, very sensitive. I also cleanse, tone and moisturise twice a day anyway, so there'd be no point in having it on. So the reason why I picked up this shade is so hopefully it matches my neck. There's also 39 shades available, so that's quite a lot. They go from very pale to very deep skin tones. There's also 4 different undertones, so they have neutral, warm, cool, and it also have red undertones as well for the deeper skin tones. And it says on here that the formula is cream, it's customizable, light, buildable, and the finish is natural. It says swipe it on and build it up. The stick formula is ideal if you're on the go or in a hurry, and thanks to its long wearing, waterproof, humidity and sweat resistant formula, you can set it and forget it for the rest of the day. It's fragrance free, vegan, non-comedogenic, waterproof and 10-hour wear. So I'm going to be testing this out for 10 hours to see if it does last 10 hours on my skin. Like I said, I'm very oily, so I'm not expecting this to last 10 hours. Also, the fact that it says that it's waterproof, humidity proof and sweat resistant, this makes me think that it might actually work on my oils. It also retails for £27 or $39, but I did get it from Boots and I got 20% off because they did have a massive sale on, so I did pay a lot less than £27 that it retails for. So with it saying that it's light buildable coverage, it also says that you can get it to full coverage, and that's something I'm a little bit wary about because if a product says that it starts from light coverage and it's buildable, if you want to get full coverage you're probably going to have to put a lot of the foundation on, and I have a feeling that it might start to look cakey. So that's all the information about this foundation. I'm really excited to test it out, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom in, and if you want to see how this goes then just keep watching. And we're all zoomed in and I've already primed my skin. I've used my 2 favourite primers, the e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer and also the Wet n Wild Photofocus Primer Water in Coconut. So these are the 2 that I use all the time, so I know how they work with all of my foundations. And this foundation does say that it's light medium coverage and then you can also do a full coverage. So for light medium coverage, apply directly onto face and buff out with your favourite sponge or brush. Repeat to build coverage or further blend to achieve a super light coverage look. And for full coverage it says swipe foundation directly onto a dense flat brush and apply to face. Blend foundation outwards and repeat until desired coverage. I haven't actually opened this, so I don't know what the shade looks like, but I did use the shade finder on the website and it said that this was supposed to be the perfect match for me, so I'm hoping that it is going to match my self-tan. It also says that it has 12 months on there as well, which is pretty good. That's like a usual foundation. Something else that I like is the fact that it says it's vegan and also non-comedogenic, because like I said, I do have very, very sensitive skin, so I do need to have products that are non-comedogenic because then it won't break me out. And this is what the foundation looks like. So it looks really nice and sleek. It's really nice actually. It's so different to any other stick foundations that I've tried. And you also have the shade right there, so I do like the fact that it's clear at the top, and I just think this packaging is really nice. It's like a matte black, and let's just see how much you get in there. It's quite easy to wind up actually, it doesn't really get stuck. So the good thing is you can actually see how much foundation that you have left. As you can see, that's the rest of the foundation, so you do get quite a lot. It's a very, very thick stick and it does look really nice. It looks very sharp, but the thing is once you start using it, it is going to start to go a little bit different. What I'm going to do is try and do the full coverage first. I'm going to apply it to the brush like it says to do, and we're going to see if it does make full coverage for me. If not, I'm just going to go ahead and use my sponge, which is what I use with all my foundations. I haven't had the best track record of using stick foundations before because I used the Wet n Wild one, that wasn't good for my skin. I used a Makeup Revolution one, that was really, really bad for my skin. And the only one that's really worked for me is the Anastasia one, but I used to use that and then my skin I think just changed and it wasn't really the best. So I'm hoping that this is going to be really good. I do have very high hopes for it because, like I said, there's quite a lot of claims on it, and it does say that it's 10-hour wear, and it also says it's waterproof, so I'm hoping that's going to work out really well. So this is what my skin looks like. We're going to see if we can cover everything up. So the first way that we're going to apply it is to a brush, like it said on the website, and this is the Anastasia A30, and this is the one that they recommend for their stick foundation. I've had this for a while and I actually used to use this with the stick foundation. Now, I'm not a brush person. I don't really like using brushes for foundations. I prefer using a sponge, so I'm going to use both ways and just see how it works. So it says to actually put it on top of the brush, and this is something that I'm finding really strange because I would never put a stick foundation on the top of the brush. So I've covered it up and we'll see how it goes. I've used all the foundation on the brush and that's not too bad, to be honest. Now, it's not full coverage by using just one bit. I can still see redness, I can see my blemishes, everything's still peeking through. So I'm going to put a little bit more on the top of the brush and we'll see how it works. But it did blend out very, very easily. That's something that I do have to say. It doesn't really look like full coverage, it looks like light medium because, as you can see, I do still have my redness here. I do still have the redness on my chin. It's not full coverage like it said that it was, so I think I'm just going to put a little bit on the areas that I have a lot of redness, and then we'll blend it out with the brush. So this is what it looks like when it's been built up a little bit, and it's still not full coverage. Now, I can still see the redness peeking through, especially right here. My blemishes are peeking through, so it's definitely not full coverage if you use a brush. It did, like I said before, blend out so easily, so I do like how much it blends out and how easy it does. The colour looks like it is pretty much a perfect match for my neck, so that's something that I think I did really good on, and I do like it. I don't feel like it looks like foundation at the moment. It doesn't look cakey, it doesn't look heavy. I just feel like it looks really nice and quite natural, actually. And as you can see, there is a lot of difference between both sides of my face. So this is with the foundation on and this is with no foundation on, so you can see that I have a lot of blemishes, a lot of redness, so much peeking out. So yeah, it's done quite a lot actually, so I'm quite happy with it. And this is actually the type of coverage that I like. I like the light medium coverages. So it didn't actually do full coverage like it said, but I actually really like the coverage, so I'm happy with it. I would just wear it like this, and I do feel like it was easier to put the foundation on the top of the brush and then blend it out. It just worked so much easier. What I'm going to do is put some foundation on this side, then I'm going to use my brush and I'll blend it out, and we'll see what the coverage looks like, see if it blends out as easily as the brush, and just see what type of coverage that I get. I've just blended out this side with a sponge, and I don't like it with a sponge. I feel like that I don't get any coverage pretty much, and it just didn't blend out as well. So I think the way to go is definitely with a brush. So I'm going to go ahead, try and even this up and use the brush again, and then I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like. And this is what the foundation looks like on both sides. This easily built up. It was so easy to do. All I did is I got my brush like this, I got the foundation, and then I just put it on the top like here, and then just basically buffed it in. So I don't go around in circles to buff things in because I do have a lot of redness. I just basically went like this on my skin and it blended out so easily. I really like it. I feel like this is the perfect coverage for me with loads of blemishes, and it didn't take me that long to do. After I worked out the best way to apply it, it was so easy to do, easily blended out, and I feel like the colour is pretty much the perfect match for my neck. I just think it looks so nice. It doesn't look cakey or anything like that. It just looks so beautiful on the skin. So I'm going to go ahead, do the rest of my makeup, come back and show you what it looks like. So I've finished off my makeup and this is what it looks like. So I feel like my foundation looks so good. The rest of my products just glided on so easily. Now, something that I did notice is that the foundation did start to oxidize a little bit. So when I was looking in natural lighting, after a little bit, it did start to get a little bit darker than my neck. So I'm not too sure if you can see on camera, but it is slightly darker. Now, I have tried to help it out by using some face powder and then also use my concealer as well. So I don't feel like it looks that bad. I feel like it looks pretty good. Like the match is almost there, it just seems like it might be 1 or 2 shades a little bit darker, but other than that it looks really good. Also it built up so beautifully on the skin as well. It doesn't look cakey where I built up, and it blended out so easily as well. As you guys saw earlier on in the video when I was applying it, I did do quite a few layers just so I could work out which was the best way to apply it. So I found out that putting it on the brush and then using a brush on the face works a lot better, and I didn't actually use a lot of the foundation. If you can see, that's how much of the foundation that I use, so it's not really a lot, to be honest. It's only a little amount, and in all honesty, when I next use this foundation I know exactly how to apply it, so I'm going to be using it a lot less of the foundation, so I feel like it would last quite a long time if you were to use it, because like I said, it built up so easily, it blended out beautifully, and the coverage is pretty nice as well. I would recommend using a brush instead of the sponge, because I felt like with the sponge it just looked very, very sheer and I didn't really like it. So as you can see, it just looks so beautiful on the skin. Everything went on so easily, and I am going to have this foundation on for 10 hours because it does say that it does last for 10 hours, and we're going to put it to test and see if it does. So it's now 1:15 in the afternoon, so I'm going to have the foundation on for, like I said, 10 hours, and I'll come back, let you know how it goes and give you my final first impression. So I'm back and it's now the end of the day, and it's now 11:15 in the evening, and I'm so tired and I completely forgot that I needed to do an update. I have been watching the Polar Express for the first time, so I'm halfway through that, so I just realised that I needed to do an update to let you guys know exactly how it's gone throughout the day. And honestly, this has done pretty good. I've had this on for 10 hours now, and that's what I said that I'd keep it on for, because it does say that it has 10-hour wear. It has come off on a couple of areas, so on my chin it's come off, and then on my forehead where my bronzer is, and also where my glasses are as well, it's come off, which is no surprise because I wear glasses. It doesn't look too bad. Now it looks like that I would probably just need to build it up a little bit, so underneath my nose it's come off, but it's not that bad in all honesty. I didn't even think it would go this well, and my skin doesn't look oily. I still have my blush, bronzer and highlighter on, and it still looks pretty good, so I feel like it's done really well. And I did notice that when I first applied it, it didn't look cakey, it built up very, very easily, and I did like it better when I was using a brush. And when I looked at my skin after about 4 hours, I felt like it looked really good still. Now it hadn't come off on any of the areas. As you guys can see, it has come off on my chin, but the 4-hour marker didn't come off anywhere. I actually asked Neil, I said, what do you think about my foundation? And he said that it looked really nice. He said that it looked natural and my skin looked so good. And I do still feel like that it looks good. Now it did cover up all of my blemishes, which is great, and it covered up the redness, and I can see that my pores are starting to look a little bit accentuated, and it is starting to look a little bit oily around there. But to be honest, I did not think it would last 10 hours. I thought that it'd probably last about 4 hours at the most, because like I said earlier, I have the worst track record for stick foundations. They just don't work for me. They tend to be really creamy and just glide off my skin, but this has done so well. This is actually my favourite stick foundation that I've tried. So with this foundation, there are a lot of pros and a lot of things that I do like about it. However, the thing that I do have to mention is that it does oxidise. So when I first applied it, it did match my neck and it looked like a perfect match, and then after a couple of minutes it did start to oxidise and start to go a little bit darker, and I feel like that I would probably need to get a shade lighter in this foundation to wear it all the time, or I would just need to get a darker self tan for this to match. But it didn't do too badly when I put all of my concealers and my powders on. Make sure that you get a shade lighter, and if you can get a sample, I recommend testing it out and seeing how much it oxidises and see if it does match. Overall, I do like the foundation. I feel like it's done really well. Like I said, it has come off on different areas. I am starting to look oily at the moment, but for 10-hour wear, it's done pretty well and I'm pretty impressed with it. The price is okay, it's £27, but I did get 20% off when I went on Boots, and they do tend to have quite a lot of offers on at the moment because it is November, so they're doing their Black Friday deals, they're also doing their Christmas deals as well, so make sure that you keep checking back on there because you can always get a deal. But with the price of this, I don't know if I'd pay full price, just because it is a really good foundation and I did really enjoy it today. However, I can't see myself using it all the time. With my Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, that looks like a second skin effect. It looks so beautiful on the skin. It lasts pretty much 24 hours, so if I was to wear a full coverage foundation, I'd probably go to that one more. But I will be using this up and I will be using it a lot more. I just don't know if I'd repurchase it, and if I did repurchase it, I don't know if I'd go for the full price. So overall, I really enjoyed this foundation. I feel like it's done pretty good for the 10 hours, and I am going to be using it a lot more because now I know how to apply it, the best way to apply it, and I feel like it's very long wearing, especially for oily skin. I do have a super oily skin and very sensitive skin. Hasn't irritated me during the day, and I'm only starting to look oily now, and I do feel like I'd probably need to put a little bit more pore filling primer around here when I wear it next time, just because my pores are starting to look accentuated. So I hope that you enjoy this video. If you've tried out this foundation, if you like it or if you don't, just comment down below to let me know, and make sure that you give this video a very big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye!